Yes, hi, good afternoon to you. I hope I meet you all well. Yes, it's good to be back. You are welcome to the live stream. I'm yours and truly, that name there. Yes, Frank Bello, live streaming, all the way from London, England. Welcome to another great episode. This time around, we are definitely going into episode 164 of the usual series we ignited early last year, 2021. Hashtag the bleeding edge, episode 164. Yes, it's not very easy here in this platform if you're just joining us new. Today's Saturday, the 10th, the ninth day, I beg your pardon, the ninth day of the fourth month of April 2022, and the time exactly in London is 1650. Welcome to episode 164 of The Bleeding Edge. Frank Below is my name. I'm your host. Let's screw it up the way we normally do. May I just quickly put up this graphic warning that some of the contents that is about to be dispatched from this dispatch box this afternoon. The program may contain graphics and contents that may be extremely violent. That is a clear warning. It is going to be brutal. It is going to be ruthless. I gave this warning from the beginning as well. It may not be suitable for children. Let me warn you. And if you feel very uncomfortable, you may vamoose for the meantime until the graphic content has been doled out. Welcome to The Bleeding Edge, episode 164. James Coker, Peter Touch, Folake Alawiye, I can support each and every one of you. If you don't comment, I won't be able to see you, but I'll just see that there is traffic on the stream. Yes, it's going to be a little bit rough today. John Utuk. Oh, John Mark. Okay, you're welcome to the stream. Are you one of the new addition to the stream? You see, last year, that is early last year, when I started with the Bleeding Edge series, it was like as early as January last year, I saw today, and if possible, next year and the year after. I've spotted the two of you watching from my personal page. I saw it January last year that your country, not my country, was bleeding profusely. I also indicated that that contraption called Nigeria, that I subsequently cracked the code for you as location 9, because everything that vibrates spiritually, the spiritual energy of that country called Nigeria is 9. You've gone through 3 completed cycles of 60 years of turbulence and torture, misery, mental decapitation in location 9, 369. It's been proven. And that was why in 2019, I specifically warned each and every one of you not to make mistakes by plunging yourselves into another 60 years of misery cycle. I won't be around. What I am doing today and what I have been doing since 1997, when I started my very first publication, Rumors, that gripped the whole of the black community in the UK. I saw tomorrow. I saw what is to happen today then. When Tokunbo Oluwu and I, when Tokunbo Oluwu teamed up with me on that project, I saw it as far back as 1997. And because I have been kind of a very, very radical Yoruba man, proud radical Yoruba man, pure and undiluted, I've never believed in that contraption called Nigeria, because I knew it was a fake and it was a fraud and it was founded on a false pretense. You can clearly see the evidence on the big screen behind me. Who will not admit that that hopeless of a nation called Nigeria is not bleeding today? Your senators, at least I know for a fact that Smart Adeyemi, one of your senator representing, I think it is Kogi West Senatorial District, right on the floor of your Senate, made it clear late last year that your country was bleeding. I saw this bleeding. I staged many shows to which I broke everything down of exactly what will happen month by month and then day by day. See, people will not flock to that place where information will be given out to them that will empower them, prepare them for the worst that will happen in the very near future. That is the power of information. But many will rather like to be in a jaga platform. To which they've got the choice to be anywhere they want to be. And when things begin to unleash on them, then they'll start crying. I've got some heavy graphics for you today. If you're faint-hearted, you won't be able to watch some of them. Beyond the headlines. Yes, what have we got beyond the headlines? First, I gathered a police inspector dies during sex romp with lover in an Ibadan hotel. Police inspector. Yeah. Now, Kogi State, Yaya Bello said Nigeria will become like Kogi if I am elected president in 2023. That's not all. This Yeye man called Yeye Bello or Yaya Bello, I don't know whether it is Yaya or Yeye Bello, now promised to create 20 million millionaires. 20 million millionaires. Not 20 million. 20 million millionaires if elected president. And I ask how? You want to make 20 million Nigerians millionaires, but this same motherfucker is owing 10 to 12 months salary in Kogi State. You heard. That's why I said I'll be using some vulgar language. And some Nigerians will fall into this cheap fallacy. These guys should stop taking the likes of me for granted. They should. They should stop it. Because they get me angry. The moment they try to play a clever game or try to play on my intelligence. I hate it when someone tries playing on my own intelligence. I can kill because of that. That same man who said he will produce 20 million millionaires. Okay. Let me see if I can quickly bring you this. Somebody who said to you, he will produce 20 million millionaires in 4 years. This is exactly what is happening currently in a state he's presided over almost 4 years, and a state who's enjoyed democracy consistently since 1999 uninterrupted. Kogi State. This is what is happening in a stupid fellow, a hopeless vagabond who wants to contest for a presidency and then claiming he will produce 20 million millionaires. This is the current state of where he's presiding over, Kogi State. Kogi State 2023. No voice? Okay, just a minute. Okay, some of you are saying there is no voice. Let me see what I am doing wrong. Let's do this. I'll take off the earpiece and then I'll roll this back over again.
All right. This is 9:09, and this time we expect all pupils of primary school, secondary school, and other institutions should be in their school. Well, my name is Yunusa Gabriel Enemali, and my community report today is coming all the way from LGEA Ukolojo Gene. It's in the Kina local government, Anyigba ward. Now, I'm going to unveil something that will touch your heart wherever you are. And the reason why we're doing this, we need to bring you up to speed to understand what is happening. Now, come with me. Now, this is primary 1. As I speak with you, it is combined with primary 1 and 2 because they are little hut where they stay has primary 2 has been fallen down by a breeze. Look at it there. Now, come back. Now, you can see these are the leaders of tomorrow. Well,
Kogi State 2022.
Of tomorrow. In this community, there is nothing like infrastructure here. No social amenities at all. Now, it is so pathetic. Look at their board. This is their board.
62 years after independence.
Come with me. Come with me. Now, this is supposed to be class 2. But today, it's already down. Now, show me camera. This is supposed to be class 2. This class 2 is now combined with class 1.
Do you see that?
That is why you have a mixed class. Now, I am told that
guys, please share it.
6. Now, this 1 to 6, you will be extremely shocked with what you're going to hear. They only have 2 teachers.
Yep.
And they are being paid by Subed. Now, tell me, how can this teacher cope? He has family. He has children. Now, the salary being paid him is on the so-called percentage salary. Now, here is primary 3. This primary 3 is also combined with primary 4. Am I correct? Okay, this is just primary 3 alone. You can see that. Now, tell me, what leader of tomorrow are you going to make out of these people? As far as they're concerned, nothing like computer that they would have ever seen in their life. Now, come with me. I'm going to show you. Now, as you come this way, this is the class, and this is class 4 and 5. All right, this is class 4 and class 5. Now, you can see the shanty where they stay, and they teach them. This is in the Kina local government, in Kogi State, in Nigeria. Now, I'm coming back to tell you what even the Sustainable Development Goal says about education. Now, we need to begin to think very, very well, or else we're going to be in trouble. Now, come with me again. This is class 6. Now, I have this as class 6. Now, tell me, some of them don't even come to school. Why would they come to school? They're not encouraged. The teachers are not encouraged. The parents are not encouraged. Now, getting to this place, I had to use this Okada. It is not motorable. It is actually so difficult. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now this is it. This is LGEA Upolojo Gene in the Kina local government, like I've said before, and this primary school has class 1 to 6. And the number of pupils right now are about 60. Majority of them don't even come to school because they need to follow their parents to the farm. And nobody encourages them, nothing about technology that they have ever seen. No light, no infrastructure, nothing. Now, they only have 2 teachers. The teachers are being paid by State Universal Basic Education Board. They call it SUBED in Lokoja, and their salary is in percentage.
In percentage.
Absurd. It is uncalled for. Now, the reason why we need to do this as part of our community report, we need you to come to the aid of this community. NGO, spirited human beings, wherever you are, if you are touched, ask yourself, would you allow your children to come to this kind of a school? The answer is no. Now, let's go back to what the first 6 SDG points, that is the 17, the first 6 out of 17. Now, the first one says poverty. Tell me, what are you expecting from these people? Is it not poverty? Now, number 2 says hunger. This is hunger staring at them. Number 3, good health and well-being. In this community, there is nothing like health center here. Now, if they are sick, they need to travel on Okada from here to Anibak, which is about 20 kilometers.
20 kilometers.
20 kilometers.
In Kogi State.
And the road is extremely bad. Now, tell me, there is no water here. There's a stream down here. That is where they drink from. Now, number 4 point of it says quality education. Tell me what is quality about this education here in this modern age and time. Man, there is a lot of things gone wrong with us. Whatever it is, we need to wake up, or else our future and their future will be doomed. Number 5 says gender equality. Look, at most of them here are male. Well, the female ones here are here. They're trying to also cope amongst their male counterpart. Now, the 6th one says clean water and sanitation. This is extremely worrisome. And I want to expect every one of us to wake up now, or else we will be doomed. The future of these children lies on us. Wherever you are, an NGO, your spirited field. The last time I brought you a story from Akwelu. Today I am in Upolojo Geni in the Kina local government. It's just about 25 kilometers, minutes ride on Okada from Maniwa. Well, it's pathetic, and I need somebody to do it. This is my community report from Upolojo Geni, and something urgently needs to be done. You can see that.
And indeed, something urgently needed to be done. Something urgently needed to be done. This is the same man. This is the same man.
People they so far. Civil servants they so far, wahala dey o. People dey suffer. Our road no good, our people dem dey so far, wahala dey o. am, and the book project. Our water, we don't see am. Our pump, you want to go for presidency, you go give people the suffer. Give people the suffer, go give people wahala. Yaya Bello. I want to talk, I want to yarn, I want to sorrow. Youth empowerment, women empowerment, we don't see am. Every day by day, you dey Abuja, governor Abuja. Day and night, you dey for Abuja, governor Abuja. Our road no good, our water no good, governor Yaya Bello. Many people dey suffer, civil servants dey suffer, pensioner dey suffer. Every day by day, now some people dey die. Yaya Bello. Okada rider, dem dey suffer our road.
That is the current situation. Kogi people suffering. You've just seen the quality of education they've been dispensing out to your children. When I showed you, Lord, the extreme graphic picture of those children, that's one behind me, drinking dirty water from the gutter, and you claim you've got leaders, and some stupid motherfuckers will now want to come out to prove me wrong that, oh, let's do it differently. No, let's break it up. I don't believe in that hopeless contraption called Nigeria anymore. I've had enough of it. Yaya Bello does not stay in the same state he's having to preside over. He stays in Abuja. That was exactly what that person was saying. Kogi State governor, but made Abuja his home. Education is in shambles in Kogi State. Health is in shambles. In fact, just forget about it. There's nothing called healthcare delivery in Kogi State. But the same man gave Aisha Buhari over $500,000 US. I don't know what for. Maybe they are shagging themselves, because the authentic original Muhammadu Buhari is dead anyway. And that is a man who wants to lead you, who wants to be your president, and he wants you to consider him for that position with 3 wives and perhaps many concubines. And now we're having to witness Abiola's own children even advocating for a stupid, reckless human being that cannot even provide education. Good, decent education. No pipe bomb water. No health care delivery. It is a shame. Now you are beginning to see why I said Abiola was probably the best, the baddest of the hope of 93. And I never believed in him. You see, what father did to Nigeria, children are about to copy exactly the same fraud and the same decapitation. I gathered earlier today, Abdul Mumuni, another of Abiola's son, is lying behind that stupid man in Kogi State. Uche Timothy Eluma, good evening. I'm really vexed. And I think I have my rights to be vexed. And to show my anger to the world. I believe that's the only way I can clear off my chest. See, I have been saying it. Will there be any 2023 elections in Nigeria? Watch this.
Yoruba máa dá dúró. Yoruba will stand as a nation. Káwọn ọlọ́pàá lọ sọ fáwọn ọ̀gá wọn pé wòlíì kan sọ̀sọ̀kúsọ tí Ọlọ́run ra. I want the security personnel to go out the post saying that the prophet was saying what God said him. Yoruba máa dá dúró lolúwa sọ fún mi. God told me that Yoruba nation will stand. Yoruba máa dá dúró. Yoruba nation shall stand. Kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà ní gbogbo àgbáyé àti ní Brazil. That all Yoruba leaders all over the world. Olúwadé sọ fún yín. Lord asked me to tell you. Pé kò sí nǹkan tí àwọn Fúlàní lè ṣe lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá. There is nothing Fulani can do on Yoruba matter. Ìjọba tó wà ńbẹ̀ yìí. This particular government. Olúwa lóhùn ti arrest wọn láti inú ọ̀run. The Lord said he have arrested them from heaven. Olúwa sọ fún mi ní. God told me. Ohun tí Olúwa sọ lèmi sọ jáde. I am saying what God has said. Olúwa ní àwọn kan ti wà tóun ti arrest tóun ti kó wọn sí ìgbèkùn. A kàn ń wò wọ́n bí ènìyàn wọn ò sì ń ṣènìyàn mọ́ nínú ayé. The Lord said many people among those that are ruling us presently. The Lord said he has kept them. We are just looking at them in physical. Èmi ò rí pé ẹ dìbò lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. I've not seen any election coming up. Kàn kó bọ̀ wá. Àwọn ọmọ wọn ló wà ń bì tó ń bá wa ṣọ́ mọ́tò. Kàn kó bọ̀ wá kàn wá fi kó mi. Èmi ò bẹ̀rù. I don't fear. Ẹni tó pè mí tó sì ní ẹ̀mí mi ni èmi bẹ̀rù. I only fear the person that called me that owes my soul. Olúwa sọ fún mi wípé. The Lord told me that. Ìdí tí òun fi mú àwọn ọba kúrò, òun rò pé wọ́n máa gbọ́ràn ni, wọn ò gbọ́ràn, ṣùgbọ́n òun á tún máa ṣàwọn gan, òun á ṣàwọn léra. The Lord said, reason why he takes away traditional rulers was because they refused to obey him. That's why he's taking them out of the land. Olúwa ní ọmọ mi. Ohun tí mo rán ẹ sọ jáde kí gbogbo àgbáyé gbọ́. And the Lord told me that I should tell you what he has told me to deliver to the whole world. Olúwa náà máa ṣàwọn bíríbíríbíríbírí. The Lord says he's going to be taking them one after the other. Pé òun ti ń ṣàwọn bíríbírí. The Lord said yóò máa rush wọn báyìí. Now he's going to rush them. Ẹ kàn gbọ́ pé ọba kan kú bí, ọba kan tún kú náà, ọba kan tún kú wájú. Olúwa ní òun ni, òun fẹ́ jẹ́rìí agbára òun nípa orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Nípa orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. The Lord said he's going to manifest his power concerning this nation. That's why he has won all the traditional rulers, but they refuse to obey God. The Lord said he's going to be taking them one after the other now. Olúwa wí pé. The Lord said. Ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ló máa mú kúrò. That many ministers of God. Àwọn ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run. many ministers of God shall be taken away suddenly. Expect. Even the one that you don't even expect. And we go away, we suddenly depart. Because they are not working with God. The Lord said he's really angry to this nation and to the powerful men in the nation. The powerful ones that you are thinking that you own today. I'm saying you like somebody that not own tomorrow. It's God that sent me. I'm not drinking, I'm not whining with you, I'm not collecting money from you. This is my native town. It's the Yoruba nation is my nation. And God has a purpose for me here. That's why He's sending me to you. And as you are hearing, the traditional, you are getting married, you are happy. With the situation of the nation, the king is approaching. God told me that Yoruba nation will stand.
And indeed, it seems we're getting closer and closer by the day and by the months. Once again, guys, I have to give you a warning that this program can contain graphic contents that may be violent, sometimes extremely violent. Parents are cautioned that the live streaming may not be appropriate for children. This next one will make you weep. I hashtagged this as the agony of a decapitated nation. Warning.
While the world focuses its attention on Russia and Ukraine, southern Kaduna is burning to ashes. Every day it is a tale of how villagers are rounded up in the middle of the night or even in broad daylight, shot at, macheted, raped, kidnapped for ransom, while their homes and everything is burnt to the ground. The narrative has been twisted by the government of the day. Of course, who can fight the government when they say blue is green and green is yellow? Who can fight a government whose tribesmen kill at will, and when others come out to defend themselves, they send in the military to seize their bows, arrows, machetes, catapults, and knives? President Muhammadu Buhari, you have failed the people of Southern Kaduna even though you are not the chief security officer of that state. Your brother Nasir El-Rufai has shown us nothing but hatred. He watches as these crimes against humanity are perpetrated against our people, and the more you look, the less you see. Hand of Esau, with the voice of Isaac. On Sunday, the 20th of March 2022, there was a massacre at Kagoro with over 33 lives lost. Kagoro has seen more than 7 attacks in the last 3 months. Sometime last year, we buried 38 villagers from Mabun and Madamai communities. Over 40 were killed at Kukundaji. Zikwe has buried 15. Zawokatov has lost over 600 people. Adra communities have lost over 1,200 people. Let us not talk about the villages deserted, numbering over 120. Children no longer go to school, but have assumed the roles of vigilantes in their localities. What we are seeing is a deliberate act of wiping out a certain people based on their tribe and religion, while the world keeps mum. What is happening cuts across the middle belt of Nigeria to include southern Kebbi, northern Niger, the FCT, Kogi, Benue, Kwara, Plateau, Nasarawa, southern Kaduna, southern Gombe, southern Bauchi, Taraba, southern Adamawa, and southern Borno State. Over 200 ethnic groups with a population of over 40 million being a target of annihilation by a murderous planning people who deceive the entire world that it is a farmers, herders conflict. Governor Nasir El-Rufai, you are a colossal failure because you have failed to protect the people you promised to secure during your campaign days. These people are now scattered in hamlets and feeding at the mercies of other people. You are a total failure, and no matter how far you have come in this life, posterity shall see you as a combination of little Hitler, little Putin. Brigadier General Issa Ali, I mince no words with you, but the rank of an army general has been watered down under your watch as the commander, Operation Safe Haven, Jaws. You watch the massacre of helpless villagers under your watch, and no arrests have been made. It's a vigilante leader not better than you. The Nigerian Army, Air Force, Navy.
That's another warning for you. Please look to one side. This happened in Edo State. If you can watch it.
Coverage. The havoc of Fulani Herdsmen, the Gotwe community right now. This is what they did to a fellow human being. The world where we have a commissioner, live coverage, where we have the governor Obaseki, look at people dying. Right now as we speak. Live coverage, Fulani Herdsmen. Live coverage right now. Live coverage, look at it, live coverage, Fulani Herdsmen. Look at what they did to a fellow human being. Fulani Herdsmen. Governor Obaseki. They sold our forest to them. Commissioner Sagbavo, Mondo Sagbavo. This is the world where you are from. At the Kwatue community right now, little here. Along Benin Akura Road, look at what is happening to fellow human beings. 5 souls on ground. We have 5 men on ground life.
62 years after independence. James Coker, Oba Matthew, you're all welcome to the stream. 62 years after independence. That's exactly what they're giving you. Who will save Nigeria from terrorists? Train attacks. Nigerians are no longer safe anywhere, so says Olusegun Obasanjo. Again, with the prophetic declaration by Prophet Segun Adebayo, so also Shehu Sani says Pastor Adeboye's verdict over 2023 is a missile. It is a shame. Big shame that a handful of many people are only just seeing this. Will there be any 2023 in Nigeria? This I have been beaming out to you, Lord, since last year. That's why I said I see today, I've seen tomorrow, and I've seen next year and the year after that. And I can honestly tell you, predict accurately exactly what will happen. I've been beaming this to you all time after time in literally all the episodes of The Bleeding Edge. Will there be any 2023 in Nigeria? Will there? Shehu Sani says Pastor Adeboye's verdict over 2023 is a missile. Still on news beyond headlines. Again, Wole Soyinka fumes over emergence of prime suspect in Bola Ige's murder, Omisore as APC National Secretary. And I once told you, they killed a whole Attorney General of the Federation under Olusegun Obasanjo's watch, presiding over as the president of a decapitated nation. And up till today, no one's been arrested or prosecuted for Bola Ige's murder. And the prime suspect, to which I say it emphatically, and I want them to come and challenge me, the death of Bola Ige lies in the hands of Obasanjo, Atiku Abubakar Vice President, Obasanjo President, Atiku Abubakar Vice President, and Iyolo Omisore as a senator under the PDP. The same killer of Bola Ige is the same man that Bola Tinubu is now having to rub shoulders with. Does that mean Bola Tinubu deliberately got rid of Bola Ige in conjunction with Omisore so that he can run claim over the whole of the Southwest? Because with Bola Ige alive, it would have been practically impossible for Bola Tinubu to run over the rest of the Southwest. And as for Obasanjo's hand in the same murder, state assassination, Bola Ige was the stumbling block that will stop Obasanjo from riding over the Southwest, because Obasanjo was at the time being molested by the Northerners, that his people in the Southwest never even liked him. They never voted for him. And for Obasanjo to have a big mouthpiece and a command, he's got to show the Northerners that he can win elections. And that was why, from the presidency, Bola Ige was a threat. From Lagos, Bola Ige was a threat to Bola Tinubu. Have you heard this before? When you cut your nose to spite your face. When you cut your nose off to spite your face. The shame is always yours to carry around, because you'll be walking around with chopped up nose. And you carry this shame around forever. Here, I am referring to the following people: Bukola Saraki, Aminu Tambuwal, Atiku Abubakar, Nyanko, Sule Lamido, and Kwankwanso. To land the PDP ticket today is a struggle for this piece of shit, this piece of trash. They have boxed themselves into a political corner, if not oblivion, known in Yoruba as Igbagbe. These moronic guys, these guys were determined to a large degree, to a large extent, to prevent Jonathan at the time, who was equally useless, very, very hopeless, from getting a second term. Rather than work with him, they chose to destroy their own political home. See, what they did not realize at the time was that the APC only needed damn lot to just win the election and wrestle power from that useless one anyway, who's always drunk, who will shag women in the presidential office. After that, they became replaced. Yeah, after the election, they became replaced or done without. And when Saraki wanted to become Senate president, they simply reminded him that, oh, Mr. Man, don't forget, you are a thief, you know. See, remember the same people who held solidarity rally for him when he was being charged by the EFCC in 2013 under Goodluck Jonathan, because Jonathan knew he was a stumbling block to him. He made the cut in 2015, but they made his life hell as Senate president. See, Atiku's thinking, according to my own calculations, was that he could pick the APC ticket in 2015. He was thinking that. That was why he merged with Demlot. Was Atiku was he really, as Atiku, experienced man? They call themselves experienced, but was Atiku showing a lack of experience and wisdom or judgment? Yes, he was. Yes, Atiku was. See, Frank Bello is not a politician and definitely will not. The fact here is that they were tools only needed for elections. Saraki, Tambuwa, Atiku, Kwankwanso, Nyako, they were all tools needed for that election. I knew it was the case. I knew that was the case. But their greed blindfolded them all the way throughout. And now, shame is now on them. They moved back to PDP rather slowly with their faces covered because their nose, they've used knife to chop off their nose. Again, like I always say, Frank Bello is not a political scientist. I'm not. And I don't want to be one. I don't claim to be one. But I can honestly tell you that Frank Bello is an experienced information service provider and a communications expert. You can't take that away from me because that is my strength. That is what I know I can do well and to the best of my ability. I knew if these guys had stayed and allowed Jonathan another 4 years, the natural beneficiary of power returning to the north now in 2019 would have been Atiku. Again, make no mistakes. I will not retrieve my enchantments. Jonathan was no good either, with all those high-profile cases of looting under his watch, and 2 sections of the country being favored: the Igbos and the Hausas. Now Atiku Abubakar is not even sure of picking the 2023 ticket, and now the PDP has boxed itself to a corner over zoning. Did you hear what Dele Momodu is saying? You see, that one's got his own problem. You heard? Dele Momodu's got his own problem. He contested in 2019 under Labour. Another political prostitute. That means they don't have any brain. You see, I foresaw problems coming for him. Because as for me, Frank Bello, as for me, I have no sympathy for all of those moronic people, because they simply do not have any political ideologies. Ask me, has Dele Momodu got any political ideology? No, sir. He wants to contest under a party to which was founded in the living room, in the sitting room of Ibrahim Babangida. And knowing fully well exactly what he's done to Babangida during Abiola's period. And you think Babangida and all his political ally that founded the PDP will now open their eyes for the likes of Dele Momodu to now say, oh, he will be their presidential candidate. I have no sympathy for those moronic people. They don't simply have no political ideologies. They don't. That's the truth. No political ideologies. Neither are they interested in solving the challenges of the masses. They're not. You've seen Yaya Bello. 1999 to date, we're talking about almost 23, 24 years of uninterrupted democracy. Kogi State, no school, no hospital, no healthcare delivery, no good healthcare, no pipe-borne water. Unemployment, they're owing 10 to 12 months' salaries. They're never interested in solving the challenges of the masses. They're only there to satisfy their selfish interest and their personal gratifications. And that's why I am putting up a serious fight between myself and them. And at this stage, Nigeria's life, at this stage of Nigeria's life, they should be talking about how to dismantle an already expired contraption called Nigeria. Right now, what I believe they should be talking about is how they will dismantle the entire country. Wallahi. Wallahi talai. We should not be talking about election or which party to win election, but talk about referendum, your exit. Referendum. That is exactly what I believe should have dominated the political scene. What a shame. Crying shame. Here's another one that you don't know. And I hope to break this down as well for you. Yeah. I hope to break it down. Akogun David Hamilton. Baba Agbalagba. Welcome to the show. Oba Matthew. Eberechukwu Obi. Yeah. What a shame. What a shame. Crying shame. For your information, a constitutional amendment is ongoing as I am talking to you in Nigeria's National Assembly, and enlightened people are silent. One would have thought, I would have thought that in view of the agitations that have plagued the country from east to west to the middle belt, threatening to tear that hopeless, nasty piece of a contraption apart, at the very, very beginning, the first item for discussion right now ought to have been fiscal federalism based on composite nationalities within the federation. Sadly, there is no clause in the proposal that even pretends to address this issue in the list. Rather, there are clauses changing names of local governments and other irrelevancies. The Fulanis are doing that to fulfill their own secret agenda. There is another clause for debate. Another clause for debate ongoing. One that makes a settler an indigene after living in a place for 5 years. That is what really triggered the satanic part of me to be ignited. Makes a settler an indigene after living in a place for 5 years. And there was no loud and impassioned noise or disturbance at the floor of the house. No contention. Is there any ability to judge well? Can't these people judge things and look at things from an enlightened angle? Can't Nigerians see? When will the enchantments, state of feeling become weaker? When will Christians wake up? When? What about all your reps and senators from the South? Where are they? Representing you in Abuja, where are they? Christian communities have borne the brunt of the insurgency for upwards of 10 years. With escalation as the current administration took over. Many indigenes of Christian communities have been sacked from their ancestral lands. And those lands, they've been taken over by Fulani insurgents. Yes or no? Yes or no? Nobody can contest that. If many of those moronic elements in Abuja are listening, They know this is the truth. In many of such communities, they have already been living for more than 5 years. Then this bill, giving rightful lands of peaceful Nigerians to insurgents by law, finalizing the homelands that some people have been aggressively seeking for the Fulanis. They are aggressively. They want to take your land by force. Your land, my father's land. Abba. And the whole nation is quiet. Have you people sat to think about the implications of this law, if allowed, of all places, to find itself into your already useless constitution of the Fulani constitution? Do we see the immediate implications? And that for you and I and our children that are yet unborn, who may want to claim their father's land for the future. Can you haven't seen the implication. You better start looking at that. So you are in Lagos or my hometown, Akure or Ikale or in Kotangora, working with the government or going about your legitimate occupation. Someone comes from another place, settle in your father's land, stays there for 5 years and claims, oh, it is my land, having by law become an indigene. That's exactly what that means. For me, it's a slap in the face, and this is utterly absurd and ridiculous. Nonsense. I strongly believe there are Christians in the National Assembly. There are equally Muslims of Yoruba extractions in the National Assembly. There are Christians and Muslims on many elite platforms who will fold their hands and do nothing. Don't do anything. Forget the church leaders. The church leaders, forget about them. Many of them whom have not sold Christians for a very small or inadequate amount of money, but are even selling their supposed patron, Jesus, in modern day Judas Iscariot style. Everywhere you look, these days, everywhere you look, this is not an attack on the Christendom. Each Christian feels it is the other person who has the mandate. You are leading, for instance, you are leading a fellowship in a church. You don't think you are a leader, and you are leading a fellowship. You are a lawyer called by the name of Christ, and there is neither challenge in your court or organized protest. You cannot organize any protest. Who are you? Why are you there? We are professionals, professors, human rights activists, and in many other fields. Yet, we don't think we know enough or qualify. We remain having our limbs cut off and without a voice, yet before our own eyes. Illegality is being formalized in your own kuro eyes. At the Senate, they are formalizing everything in your eyes, and you are not talking. And yet our Christianity and our calling can take it. It can take it conveniently. We look the other way. We forget that what goes round comes round. They might not be in that Senate tomorrow. And if they pass that bill now, it will come round to them. Because they sold their conscience. They sold their own people into slavery. The lands of the defenseless are just about to be taken away, cruelly and illegally, with the intent of making them the criminals, should they at any time want to come back to claim their inheritance. Ghana Ghana, for your information, they're studying everything that is happening to us in Nigeria. Every act and every scenes, the drama ongoing in Nigeria, Ghana is using that as a benchmark to correct and then implement a strong defense for true Ghanaians. They're coming out with 3 nationalities, 3 passports. First passport, second passport, third passport. First passport, that is 3 citizenship. First passport, first citizenship. Your parent, your father, and your mother, and your grandparents, and yourself must be Ghanaian. Yes, those are the first citizens with the first Ghanaian passport. The second citizens, those whose parents are half Ghanaian, half the other way, like Rollins. Those are the second one. The second citizen with the second passport, you cannot buy a land or property in Ghana right now unless a first citizen is used. A first citizen will have to buy you that land. So that means the first citizen will be the rightful owner of that property and not you. But in our own case, we're too dispossessed, clutching for our very lives to even know that this plot is being hatched against us, to work against us. It's gonna get worse. See, I'm fired up. Even if they know, what can they do when the same administration that supervised their exit, in spite of being the custodians of power today, have not thought it right and fitting to ask usurpers to vacate the usurped places, that the rightful owners may return and automatically bring an end to displacement and the IDP settlements that later more than a dozen states in the north. Yeah. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're treating episode 164 of the hashtag The Bleeding Edge. Baba T. Thank you. Thank you, Akogun. Thank you. You said, speak on Frank, the truth sayer. Thank you, Akogun. I fear no man. I fear no man. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ó ti dé tán. Why Kiss? Where are you? Give it to them.
Yeah, G.O.D. This is the message. I fear no man.
Yes, I fear no man.
The Lord is my shepherd. Kì í sọ fún wọn, kì í sọ fún wọn, kì í sọ fún wọn, kì í sọ fún wọn. Ó ní kì í sọ fún wọn, kì í sọ fún wọn. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ti dé tán. Sí ìjọba aláìgbọràn. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ti dé tán. Sí ìjọba aláìgbọràn. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. ìdájọ́ àrọ̀lé wọn lórí. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán, ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ti dé tán. Sí ìjọba aláìgbọràn, ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán, ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ti dé tán. Sí ìjọba aláìgbọràn, ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ó ní kí n sọ fáwọn tí wọ́n láwọn lálágbára. Ó ní kí n sọ fáwọn tí wọ́n ní àyànfẹ́ lára. Ó ní kí n sọ fábà kí wọ́n ronú pìwàdà o. Tí wọn ò bá gbọ́ o, òjò ìdájọ́ àrọ̀lé wọn lórí. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán, ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ti dé tán. Sí ìjọba aláìgbọràn, ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán, ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ti dé tán. Sí ìjọba aláìgbọràn, ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ó ní kí n sọ fún wọn kí wọ́n ronú pìwàdà o. Ó ní kí n sọ fún wọn póun ò fẹ́ kú ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ o. Ó ní kí n sọ fún wọn kó tú aláìṣẹ̀ sílẹ̀ o. Tí wọn ò bá gbọ́ o, òjò ìdájọ́ àrọ̀lé wọn lórí. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán, ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ti dé tán. Sí ìjọba aláìgbọràn, ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán, ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ti dé tán. Sí ìjọba aláìgbọràn, ìdájọ́ Olúwa ti dé tán.
Ẹ wo báyìí kù gbogbo ní àwáyé o. Ẹ wo báwo làwọn tó ń tajà ń bí báyìí báwo ni wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ tà lọ́gbọ́n Sanwó-Olú. Ẹ wò ṣé àwọn tó wà ń bí báyìí ṣé ẹ wò báyìí kù gbogbo rẹ o. We can't go. Mo lọ ṣe nǹkan bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ẹ wò mo láti gbé.
Yes. Thank you, White Case, for that great tune. Ìdájọ́ Olúwa ó ti dé tán. Ó dẹ̀ ti dé tán. Amina Olayinka, good evening. Ìyá Bradford, ẹ kú òǹgbẹ o. Ide Kelvin, good evening. If you've just joined us, we're treating episode 164 of the usual tough, turbulent series, disturbing series, The Bleeding Edge, that I saw, and I've been coming up with different series over a year, almost a year and a half, before anyone started seeing that the nation called Nigeria, that stupid nation called Nigeria, was bleeding. And I think somebody that saw this bleeding edge, yes, thank you, Amina Olayinka, you saw it. You even called me all the way from Bradford to narrate the experiences you had and the dreams. God showed you in dreams, and you obviously called me for interpretation, and I explained those to you. You saw it. I think this was 2 years ago. I think this was even before 2019. And what you saw that time, Amina Olayinka, this is part of what you saw that time. I mean, this was part of what you saw that time. Behind me on the big screen, you guys can see the display of how terrible things are. All these are my creation. They are my creativity, and I've got all my rights to them. You can see it. If you're just joining, I want you to please watch this, because this was exactly what Amina saw when she called me and Bleeding Edge started. Watch this.
the world focuses its attention on Russia and Ukraine, southern Kaduna is burning to ashes. Every day it is a tale of how villagers are rounded up in the middle of the night or even in broad daylight, shot at, macheted, raped, kidnapped for ransom, while their homes and everything is burnt to the ground. The narrative has been twisted by the government of today. Of course, who can fight the government when they say blue is green and green is yellow? Who can fight a government whose tribesmen kill at will, and when others come out to defend themselves, they send in the military to seize their bows, arrows, machetes, catapults, and knives? President Muhammadu Buhari, you have failed the people of Southern Kaduna even though you are not the chief security officer of that state. Your brother Nasir El-Rufai has shown us nothing but hatred. He watches as these crimes against humanity are perpetrated against our people, and the more you look, the less you see. Hand of Iso with the voice of Isaac. On Sunday, the 20th of March 2022, there was a massacre at Kagoro with over 33 lives lost. Kagoro has seen more than 7 attacks in the last 3 months. Sometime last year, we buried 38 villagers from Abun and Madamai communities. Over 40 were killed at Kukumdaji. Zikwe has buried 15. Zawokatov has lost over 600 people. Adra communities have lost over 1,200 people. Let us not talk about the villages deserted numbering over 120. Children no longer go to school, but have assumed the roles of vigilantes in their localities. What we are seeing is a deliberate act of wiping out a certain people based on their tribe and religion while the world keeps mum. What is happening cuts across the middle belt of Nigeria to include southern Kebbi, northern Niger, the FCT, Kogi, Benue, Kwara, Plateau, Nasarawa, southern Kaduna, southern Gombe, southern Bauchi, Taraba, southern Adamawa, and southern Borno State. Over 200 ethnic groups with a population of over 40 million being a target of annihilation by a murderous planning people who deceive the entire world that it is a farmers, herders conflict. Governor Nasir El-Rufai, you are a colossal failure because you have failed to protect the people you promised to secure during your campaign days. These people are now scattered in hamlets and feeding at the mercies of other people. You are a total failure, and no matter how far you have come in this life, posterity shall see you as a combination of little Hitler, little Putin. Brigadier General Issa Ali, I mince no words with you, but the rank of an army general has been watered down under your watch as the commander, Operation Save Heaven, Jaws. You watch the massacre of helpless villagers under your watch, and no arrests have been made. It's a vigilante leader not better than you. The Nigerian Army, Air Force, Navy.
Warning: if you cannot watch this, please move your eyes away. This is extremely violent.
Coverage. The havoc of Fulani Herdsmen in the Gwetwe community, here community right now. This is what they did to a fellow human being. The world where we have a commissioner, live coverage, where we have the governor, Governor Obaseki, look at people dying. In Otikwe now, right now, as we speak. Live coverage, Fulani Herdsmen. Live coverage right now. Live coverage, look at it, live coverage, Fulani Herdsmen. Fulani Herdsmen, look at what they did to a fellow human being. Fulani Herdsmen. Governor Obaseki, they sold our forest to them. Commissioner Sagbavo, Mondo Sagbavo, this is the world where you are from. At the Kwatue community right now, little here. Along Benin Akura Road, look at what is happening to fellow human beings. 5 souls on grants.
Along Benin Akure Road. That is the unbearable state. And that's exactly where your hopeless, ludicrous politicians, they've led you. Yeah. See, let me come back to the issue of that land grab. For those who may still be unconcerned, who choose to be onlookers, you see what happened to that guy? and what is happening in Southern Kaduna. Wait until this law is signed, and it is then you will know the people who have targeted your ancestral lands in your village but didn't show up. When they do, and you go there, they will meet you with guns. And that's exactly what is currently happening in that last clip. May God let you live to tell the story by not acting. All of you, Southern governors and others who are onlookers today, wait till this law is signed. All the forests and forest reserves that you have been directing some people to move out of, they will then come back and tell you they have been living there in the forest, your own forest, for more than 30 years. What will you do? Because you were unable to account for them. And the time you were supposed to act, you were not acting. Then they will send you to school, if that law is signed, to go and read the Constitution, the hopeless Constitution, which they themselves cannot read. That's exactly what's going to happen. And what's going to happen next? All your Amotekun and all the similar outfits will immediately become jobless. Classic example: the clash between the army and Amotekun in Akure. Akeredolu, Aketi, where are you? Is anyone seeing what I am seeing? Is anyone looking at things the way I see it? Do you see things as I am seeing it? Because I probably seem to be seeing things differently than many people. Is there anyone on this platform willing to do anything? Any of you? I'm challenging all of you on this platform willing to do anything. Is there anyone willing to spread this information until there is massive awareness of the evil act that is about to be perpetrated on each and every one of you? All of us. Is there someone or a group that can be reached who will be willing to do something? Hello? Are there people who I believe still have blood running in their veins, who feel revulsion at evil? Are there Christians and Muslims from the southern extraction who are not bearing that identity in word only? As you hear this, as I'm dishing out this information loud and clear, crisp clear, are you ready to stand up and be counted, and are willing to make this information go round? Are you? This is the part you can play right now. Awareness of this dangerous bill that they are going to pass and sign into law. Awareness. My people, don't let me deceive you. Don't let us deceive ourselves. There is fire on the mountain. This information may save you and your life this following information, the one I'm about to go into, because I want to tell you, and I want to give you a breakdown, and I want you to please listen very, very carefully. A guy flew into Nigeria from Germany. This information was passed over through to me. I went through them, searched them, researched them, get onto the phone. Yes, authentic. He flew in from Germany to Nigeria via Turkish Airlines, so he must have gone through Istanbul as a transit. He arrived in Nigeria, but one of his bag, or should I say luggage, with his name tag was missing. You know, your tag, your bag will be tagged. He made a complaint and he was told to go home, that the airport officials will look for it and give him a call. He got a call, true, at around and about midnight, that his bag had been found and that he should come pick it up that night. But this clever guy, just like myself and many of us, knowing fully well how dangerous Nigeria is, then decided not to go that night, but the next day. So he went the next day to Nako in the afternoon. On getting to Nako, he was surrounded by heavy Nigerian security operatives, the DSS and the NDLEA. Indeed, the bag he was shown a bag, but the bag he was shown had his name tag, but it was not his own bag. So in Nigeria, someone had removed his tag and then placed it on another bag that contained possibly hard drugs. Yeah, I want to. Yeah. Yeah, let me just, I want to see what is happening in here because I lost them. Yeah, so someone removed his missing tag from his bag and then placed it on another bag. And that bag that was placed had cocaine inside it. You see all the dodgy and mago-mago business right inside location 5. Things that we never experienced before. Now, the guy insisted that it was not his bag and proceeded to show those security operatives photos of his own luggage, which he took before arriving in Nigeria. So he took the pictures of his luggage with his luggage standing in the middle, took that, left that on his phone, as if this guy knew what will happen and how fraudulent Nigerians are. So he then showed those overzealous security operatives the photos of his own luggage, which he took before leaving Germany and arriving in Nigeria. Despite all the pictures that he showed this terrible security operatives, this guy still went through rigorous screening that afternoon before he was let go. Now, suppose the photos of those luggage were not taken by him. So, suppose those photos were not taken. This guy will not get away. He said only God knows what his life would have become. Those of you who like to up and yo-yo, oh, it's my country, foul. That same afternoon, he approached the Turkish Airlines and then caused a rough fight at their office. He said something about using his connection. Yeah, he said he will use some of his connection to make trouble with Turkish Airlines, and eventually Turkish Airlines had no options but to give him a compensation. He was compensated heavily. Maybe free flight for a whole year at any time he wants to fly. So here is a catch. This guy advised all travelers to always take pictures of their luggage, as that's what saved him. You want to travel to location 419, location 9, at the airport with your tag, take the picture, save it on your phone. What is this teaching you, all of you who like to travel like a yo-yo up and down a country of no shame? Just take pictures of your traveling bags before going to Nigeria at the airport. For me, we've learned, and I have learned from this guy's experience, and we learn from other people's experience. If you have family members abroad who are planning to visit 419 nation, please tell them to take complete and very clear pictures of their traveling bags and luggage at the airport of departure before arriving shithole Nigeria. They must take their pictures with all of their bags and save this on their phones. But before that, reports reaching us here in London confirmed that some Nigerian airport agents, yes, listen to this very carefully, some Nigerian airport agents are now removing tags from bags containing hard drugs and transferring the tags to other people's bags. What's inside this? This is a strategy to help their agents smuggle drugs, cocaine, heroin into Nigeria. You will pick up your bag thinking it's your bag because your name is tagged to the bag. And then you will be accosted, accused, and arrested for having hard drugs in your bag. That's not all. Sometimes they will allow you to check out and take your bag home only for their agents. They will track you to visit you at home, to kill you before collecting their bags. So you've helped them smuggle their hard drugs out of the airport, you thinking it was your bag. They will tell you, and then they will come for the bag, they will kill you and collect their bag. A lot of innocent people from America, UK, Europe are already in jail now, who know nothing about hard drugs, but were picked up at Nigerian airports for bringing hard drugs into the country. Yes, you heard. That's why I gave up totally, completely. I gave up totally from that hopeless nation. Long time. James Coker. Our Yoruba people are just partying. I'm talking, about the situation, about Nigeria. This stupid man talking about party. Are you surprised? Use video. Yes, you can use video. You can take picture and then video again. Even say that Yeah. James Coker, you said you just cancelled your trip to location 9 last week. Yeah, you were saying that in one of the show last week, actually. Yeah, you were right. It's not worth it. There is the possibility that you might be caught up in a terrible scenario. Anyone that travels from the UK, Europe, the United States, or from a well-off country to Nigeria anytime from now, there is 50-50 probability that you will be caught up in a terrible fracas. Alozia Friday. Good afternoon to you. It's been very hot today in the house. Yeah, it's been very hot. Yeah, I know there are some people yeah. Why am I not seeing? Okay, I can see all those Polatito, Adenito. Yes. Ide Kelvin. Yeah. You guys are just watching. Yeah. It's not easy. Okay, now I want to quickly go into this, and I want to showcase two different African countries for you before I begin to wind down. Did you know that? Yeah, this was a research that was done by me. Did you know that the pension fund assets under management in South Africa currently is $500 billion? Yeah. Pension fund assets under management in South Africa is $500 billion. Out of this $500 billion, $210 billion is invested through the South Africa capital markets to grow private businesses. See that? Now, in Nigeria, the pension fund's assets under management is $30 billion US dollars. Out of this $30 billion US dollars, the Fulani government of Nigeria borrowed $19 billion and are still borrowing more to finance mostly consumption, salaries, wages, and corruption of less than 1 million civil servants and political bandits. The capital market, the market capitalization, beg your pardon, the market capitalization of the South African capital market is $1.33 trillion, and that of Nigeria is $51 billion. There is a clear distinction between market capitalization. Do you also know that the working age, now let's listen to this, the working age population of South Africa is 38 million people. The working age population of South Africa is 38 million people, and that of Nigeria is 150 million people. Now, I want you to note that 17 million pension funds accounts sweat, that is, they work hard, contributed to this $500 billion towards their retirement in South Africa, as against 30 billion US dollars contributed by 9.5 million pension funds accounts in Nigeria. Did you get that? Let me come back. 17 million pension funds accounted, they worked very hard. The 17 million pension funds contributed 500 billion US dollars towards their retirement in South Africa, right? 17 million. 9.5 million pension funds account in Nigeria was $30 billion contributed. 17 million contributed $500 billion. 9.5 million contributed 30 billion. And out 30 billion US dollars. And out of that 30 billion US dollars, remember, the federal government borrowed 19 billion. And they're still borrowing. Only heaven knows how much is in the kitty right now. Creatively analyzing the above statistics will reveal to you why Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world and what can be done to remedy our dangerous state if we have in a majority creative, skillful, knowledgeable, and selfish patriots as political leaders, but we don't. We have crafted and shared tons of transparently private sector driven concepts, according to some people, on what we can do, when we can do it, and how it can be done to put at least over 90 million of our compatriots to productive and gainful works. But those political bandits in Abuja will not have any of it or even listen. And nobody's challenging, just like you've just posted James Coker about the person you were talking to. All what he was concerned about is partying. Wasiu Akinyele, afternoon to you. Bolan, you are not talking. I can see you there. I see you, Bolan. You can't get away. Don't worry. I watch everything. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens in front of me that I keep looking at someone. I keep looking at you guys. Bolan, look, brother, me, you said that you are not Nigeria anymore. Yes, indeed, and I'm very proud. I'm not in Nigeria. But I will not stop unless and otherwise they give us a Yoruba nation. So long as they are holding on to Nigeria, I will continue to curse them. I will continue to shake me for them every day. It will not be well with Nigeria. Nigeria, for your information, in fact, Bolan, you triggered something now. Let's see something here. Let me play you this. You triggered something. And since that happened, there has been no peace. And there can be no peace. Bolan, we ignited this for your eyes only. Guys, please, my friend Bolan triggered this. Bolan, this is for you.
in my life anymore.
Bolan. You've seen that. And I have no regrets. And since for me, my actions at the time in 2018, that action you've just watched, for me in 2018 was spiritual. Because I made it known there will be no peace in Nigeria, and that since that moment upwards, I've set Nigeria on fire, and there has been no peace. For me, that action was deeply divine and spiritual, and I have no regrets whatsoever. I have no regrets. Others, they followed. And to buttress everything, just to tell you that Nigeria is finished. Nigeria is finished. Here, Prophet Segun Adebayo confirmed it. Other than the fact that Pastor Adeboye confirmed everything I've been talking to you all, will there, since last year, 2021, January, will there be any 2023 in Nigeria? Nobody saw it. I saw it. God showed me. At least two, in fact, not two, three men of God, they've confirmed, inclusive of Pastor Adeboye. Watch Prophet Segun Adebayo again, proclaiming that there won't be any 2023 in Nigeria, and there won't be any. The mouth I use and all the fibers in my body, when they resonate, it is not me talking, because I speak exactly what I've been instructed to say, and the word is spirit. The moment it is spoken, it is spirit. It is in the air, and it is hanging in the air. So those of you who knows the gravity of the spoken word, don't toy with the spoken word. Watch Prophet Segun Adebayo once again.
Yoruba máa dá dúró. Yoruba will stand as a nation. Káwọn ọlọ́pàá lọ sọ fáwọn ọ̀gá wọn pé wòlíì kan sọ̀sọ̀kúsọ tí Ọlọ́run rán. I want the security personnel to go at the post saying that the prophet was saying what God said him. Yorùbá máa dá dúró l'Olúwa sọ fún mi. God told me that Yoruba nation will stand. Yorùbá máa dá dúró. Yoruba nation shall stand. Kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà ní gbogbo àgbáyé àti ní Brazil. That all Yoruba lineage all over the world. Olúwa ní mi sọ fún yín. Lord asked me to tell you. Pé kò sí nǹkan tí àwọn Fúlàní lè ṣe lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá. There is nothing Fulani can do on Yoruba matter. Ìjọba tó wà ńbẹ̀ yìí. This particular government. Olúwa lóhùn ti arrest wọn láti inú ọ̀run. The Lord said he have arrested them from heaven. Olúwa sọ fún mi ní. God told me. Ohun tí Olúwa ń sọ lèmi ń sọ jáde. I am saying what God has said. Olúwa ní àwọn kan ti wà tóun ti arrest, tóun ti kó wọn sí ìgbèkùn. A kàn ń wò wọ́n bí ènìyàn. Wọn ò sì ń ṣènìyàn mọ́ nínú ayé. The Lord said many people among those that are ruling us presently, the Lord said he has kept them. We are just looking at them in physical. Èmi ò rí pé ẹ dìbò lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. I've not seen any election coming up. Kàn kó bọ̀ wá. Àwọn ọmọ wọn ló wà ń bì tó ń bá wa ṣọ́ mọ́tò. Kàn kó bọ̀ wá kó wá fi kó mi. Èmi ò bẹ̀rù I don't fear. Ẹni tó pè mí tó sì ní ẹ̀mí mi lé èmi bẹ̀rù. I only fear the person that called me that.
Prophet Shegun. Thank you, Prophet. Thank you, Prophet Shegun Adebayo. Thank you for speaking my mind. Thank you, Pastor Adeboye, for speaking out loud this time. Episode 164 of the hashtag The Bleeding Edge. 2 hours, 11 minutes. Today, Saturday, the 9th day of the 4th month of April, 2022. And the time currently in London is 18:49 by the clock. Yes, guys. Yes. Before I bring the stream to an end, I want to touch on someone. Are you aware that Abuja gave $1 million to Afghanistan as gift? Abuja. Nigerians would not have known of this hopeless and senseless donation, but for the statement made by the Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, Hussein Brahim Taha, commending the Nigerian government for its apparent generosity. For an administration that is not exactly short on examples of moral violation, the decision by this fake, dodgy silicon latex Muhammadu Buhari to donate the sum of $1 million to the Humanitarian Trust Fund for Afghanistan will go down as one of the most unsettling and, frankly speaking, thoughtless acts of the century. Just to be clear, I hold no grudge against the people of Afghanistan. No. Who, in fact, I believe the people of Afghanistan, they've endured untold deprivation and hardship, particularly since the collapse of the government of President Ashraf Ghani, August last year, following the withdrawal of the American troops. You all remember that. Nor am I opposed to the government giving money and material support to the country's friends and allies. But this donation to Afghanistan is a different situation. First, donations, no matter how small, must, I believe, be officially appropriated. There is no reason to believe that the donation to the Afghan government underwent due diligence. That's number one. Number two, right now, Nigeria is hardly in a position to donate money to anyone, having relied on massive borrowing for its recurrent and capital expenditures. You cannot give what you do not have. Number three, and perhaps the most important of all, the Taliban government in Afghanistan is not just another government, but an ultra-conservative Islamist regime that has stopped women from going to school, and they continue to treat women like an item of property and repeatedly violated their human rights. Not only that, human rights of ordinary Afghan people are being trampled upon. It's an extremely brutal regime, the Taliban, with which Nigeria should have no relationship, and donating money to it is no different from endorsing its human rights abuses. Why on earth will this fake, dodgy, silicon latex Buhari donate money that the country, Nigeria, desperately needs for its own domestic problems to a government that the rest of the world, including other Islamic nations, has rightfully considered or consigned to the diplomatic doghouse? Where does your fake president get his policy advice from? If your fake, dodgy latex president was in the mood to be generous, why not donate to any of the internally displaced persons, IDP camps, that dotted the northern part of the country, left, right, and center? Why? Why Afghanistan? Nigerians are understandably, I believe, those who call themselves Nigerians are very angry, enraged, that amid pervasive insecurity, growing starvation, extreme poverty, rising unemployment, not to mention the crisis in the education sector, the health sector, your fake, dodgy president will then go ahead and apparently, without official authoritative approval, hand over cash to the Taliban. The statement by the Coalition of Southern and Middle Belt Youth Leaders Assembly denouncing the administration's financial recklessness is indicative of the mood across the country, and everyone wholeheartedly identify with it. Let me tell you, if you still call yourselves Nigerians, but I know, because I'm still speaking to a lot of Nigerians, Nigerians are genuinely fed up with this fake, dodgy Buhari administration and cannot wait for it to run down its time and depart. The criticism in 2015 was that he was too sectarian and provincial, and that he did not have the imagination to run a local government, let alone a country as complex, a complex mosaic as Nigeria. Sadly, time has proved those critics, inclusive of myself, right. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Just keep dropping your comments. James Coker. Wasiu Akinyele, what have you got to say here? You are saying the truth, sir. Our lecturer cannot get fund to go back to school. We are giving money to terrorist state. Yeah, I think the entire need to wait. Yeah, the entire people need to wake up, because we're done for. James Coker, let's post your comment. Westerners, Southerner, and East don't have electricity but give electricity to neighboring countries. As of today, the national grid had collapsed again, for your information. Today, the national grid, for the third or fourth time in a row, today it has collapsed. Oh, yes. Okay. Let's go into this one. This one will be very interesting to you. You do know that Pastor Tunde Bakare is back in vogue. He's back in the limelight. Yeah. Tunde Bakare. Oh God, please help me. I've not liked that man from day one. I don't like Tunde Bakare because of what he did to Pastor Adeboye. I have to confess to you. That's why he doesn't like Pastor Adeboye. But Pastor Adeboye does not hold any grudge. But Tunde Bakare in particular, they should go and ask him exactly what he did. He was formerly a member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. What did Tunde Bakare did to Pastor Adeboye? Let him be truthful to himself. He's back on the social media scene. Tunde Bakare, according to reliable source, had his bank accounts padded up with a whopping $5 million, $5 million US dollars by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You're hearing this. The idea for this padded $5 million is for Bakare, who was recently seen in a viral video spewing hate speech from the pulpit, to do a dirty job of setting fire between the north and the southeast in order to clear the way for Bola Tinubu to clinch the APC ticket. Remember that sometime in January this year, 2022, Bola Tinubu had said in a television interview that he's ready to fight dirty. Now, are you surprised about Tunde Bakare now saying this? And in the video, Bakare had claimed that Tafawa Balewa cursed the Igbos the day he was killed. He said they removed his turban, poured wine on his head, and forced him to drink wine before he was shot dead. Tunde Bakare lied. He lied that Balewa was cursed, but that Balewa cursed the Igbos, saying that no one from the Igbo tribe will rule Nigeria. He lied. To celebrate Chief Segun Oshoba at 81 years, earlier interview with the former Ogun State governor indicated that Chief Oshoba saw the bodies of both Abubakar Tafawa Balewa and Okotie Ebo somewhere by the roadside along Lagos-Abeokuta Road. At the time, Oshoba was a young reporter for the Daily Times of Nigeria during the period of the coup in 1966. The lengthy interview, I'm not going to go into that with Chief Segun Oshoba. It is online and it can be read by any of you who cares to know more. But in there, the crunch of the matter is that Chief Segun Oshoba said the body of Abubakar that he saw on the day in question was fully clothed and fresh with no bullet holes. He reported, Oshoba reported in 1966. And then let's rewind. Tunde Bakare, looking through his birth details, that time was just 11 years old in 1966 when these events occurred. Tunde Bakare was 11 years. Perhaps if he was lucky enough, he must have been admitted into, he must have passed his common entrance examination. All the books written on the war and the coup and counter coups of 1966 and 1967, none of them has Bakari's version of this dodgy, stupid story of his. This and many more unanswered questions have led people to begin to ask questions about who Bakari is working for and what their mission is with this satanic version from the pit of hell on the pulpit. Here are the facts, as opposed to Tunde Bakari's dirty but full of lies version. 1. Balewa's body was found beside Okotie Ebo's body along Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. 2. Both bodies were found January 21st, 1966, after 6 days of their death in a decomposing state. 3. Balewa's body, found by Segun Oshoba, a young Daily Times reporter at the time, born 15 July 1939, was aged 26 years and 6 months old. 4. Tunde Bakari, like I said, was born 11 September 1954. He was 11 years old, 2 months and 4 days when Balewa was killed, January 15th, 1966. So Tunde Bakari was in a zero position at aged 11 to have known the circumstances of the PM's death when Oshoba at 26, and as a reporter, did not know. There was no social media. And perhaps Tunde Bakari did not even have any privilege to any newspaper. Talk less of reading Daily Times. Because it must have been reported in the Daily Times, because Oshoba at 26 was a reporter with the Daily Times of Nigeria. Now, here, let me now look into the 5th point, and let me bring you straight back into line. After the so-called Balewa's curse, now let me ask, the next person who ruled Nigeria, who was that after Balewa was killed? Who was that? The next man. Let me show you the picture. God help us. Let's show the picture. Okay, I think I know where it is. Let's do this. PNG. Just a minute before I carry on. Okay, let me go into the bitmap image. Let's go into the bitmap image. I know I've got them in the bitmap image. Sorry guys, we'll get to the bottom of it. I like to buttress my argument with facts and not just talk at the top of my head, so that anyone who wants to challenge it. Now look at that. Look at that. Tafawa Balewa, Zeke as president, that's why you've got those 2 arrows, because they are one. Balewa cursed the Igbo people, but the next man that became the military head of state, even if it is for a short period, who was that in front of your screen? Who? After the so-called Balewa's curse, the next person to rule Nigeria after Balewa was who? General Johnson Agu Nronsi, an Igbo man. An Igbo man. 1601 1966 to 1901 07, 1966, he was in power. Igbo man. Before the Northerners struck. That makes, in my own opinion, that makes Tunde Bakare a religious quack who talk loudly and foolishly. It is so sad. Bakare is preaching falsehood from the pulpit of hell. He's a stalking horse, an evil proxy for others in the shadows who want to rule in hell called Nigeria, even if on the dead body of other ethnic groups. Bakare conveniently forgets Nigeria is hell today, a hell that they helped create in 56 years absence of Igbo leadership. No Igbo man has been president. So they cannot blame Igbo people because none of them have been president. Let's ask Tunde Bakare, is Nigeria paradise today? The answer is no. Why do we have the Banji Akitoyes of today, the Sunday Igbos of today, and many of us in the Southwest today agitating for a Yoruba nation? Why? Of course it is because Nigeria is a failed state. Bakare is a fake pastor and an ethnic bigot like his bedfellows. For me, he remains a charlatan indeed. Sadly, that is the sad story of the hell called Nigeria today. It is. Titi Loye Irewumi, welcome to the show. John Craig, John Balao, okay, guys. We've been on air 2 hours and 33 minutes. Very gruesome episode. Uluakambi, you're just tuning in. I'm just rounding up. Yes. I didn't want to leave this too late. Maybe tomorrow morning, I'll join you guys. Yes. Let's bring the stream to an end. And we're going to do it again the way we always do it. Let me seize the opportunity to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to watch the stream. I hope you've taken a few bits and pieces on board with you. We hope to do it this way regularly, in which we screw up things. It is the only platform. The worst they can do is to come up and I know there is church tomorrow. I pray to God in my own home. My home is my church. If I feel like going to the church, I'll go into the Anglican church. I've got one just there, 5 minutes away from me. Yeah. Guys, I think Facebook, they've deactivated many of you guys. So go back onto your page. I think now Facebook is now using subscribe, just like YouTube. So go back, like the page, subscribe, or if they've still kept the following on your own tab, just click it, and whichever of the feeds you feel comfortable watching the stream. Yes, please do. And I'm going to make probably a few shortcuts of the clip, and I'll probably start sending this out one after the other. Episode 164 of The Bleeding Edge is what we've just treated today. The time in London is 1913. Yes, 30 minutes past 7 o'clock London time. We're already in British summertime. Look, guys, thank you all for coming in to watch the stream. We're going to screw it up again. If I have the strength and the stamina, I've got loads of materials that I want to go through with you. Yes, we will go through them, and I'll be with you. Just make sure you, on YouTube, like the page, click the subscribe button, and then the bell icon, just as you're looking in front of your screen right away. Yeah, it is there. So do that, and anytime I come live, you guys will be alerted. Let's call it a day for today, and thank you for coming to watch the stream. You have a great and wonderful weekend. Well, thanks for watching the show. Welcome be all of you. Love you all. Thank you, and God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend. Goodbye.